Today in Cannabis News, key advocacy groups and legalizing cannabis in Virginia expressed disappointment and skipped the bill's signing ceremony. The Florida Supreme Court has dealt a critical blow to activists working to legalize cannabis in the state. And a new study adds further evidence that cannabis use during pregnancy may be linked to detrimental effects on newborns. It's Monday, April 26th, and this is your TRICHOMES Morning Buzz.
Broadcasting live from the TRICHOMES.com studios in Southern California. It's time for your Morning Buzz. We bring you late-breaking news that keeps you up to date with what's happening in the cannabis industry.
First up, as Virginia Governor Ralph Northam signed into law a measure to legalize recreational cannabis use in the state, the Richmond Times-Dispatch reports that the symbolic signing of the bill was missed by prominent civil rights organizations active in the campaign to legalize cannabis in Virginia that are displeased with Governor Northam's choice to exclude a leading activist from the ceremony. Marijuana Justice, headed by advocate Chelsea Higgs Wise of Richmond, was one of the organizations that collaborated with policymakers on cannabis legalization. The ACLU of Virginia, Justice Forward Virginia, and Rise for Youth received invites to the ceremony with the governor and legislatures, but not Marijuana Justice. The ACLU of Virginia lauded the bill's ratification, but added it was deeply disappointed that Higgs Wise was left out. From the beginning, Marijuana Justice has been instrumental in expanding our coalition's ability to center the voices of directly impacted people in the policymaking process, said ACLU of Virginia leaders. One of our key values is to create an inclusive space around marijuana legalization, where many communities have a seat at the table. In defense of that principle, none of us attended the signing.
Next up, the Florida Supreme Court decided that a ballot measure to legalize recreational cannabis could not be entrusted with voters in the state. The measure was thrown out by the court, which is perhaps the most conservative state high court in the nation, with the 5-2 vote refusing Florida voters the power to vote on it. The court issued a questionable argument to explain its decision, claiming that the ballot description suggests that the measure would somehow legalize cannabis through federal statute, thereby making it affirmatively misleading. The court refused Floridians the right to overturn state statutes prohibiting recreational cannabis use due to this alleged flaw. Proponents have long been competing with state lawmakers in the battle to legalize cannabis in the state. State Republicans in the legislature and the governor's office have declined to broaden cannabis access for years. Floridians took matters into their own hands in 2016, passing a ballot measure modifying the state constitution to legalize medical cannabis with over 71% approval. Former Republican Governor Rick Scott, with the help of Republican state lawmakers, tried to gut the new legislation by restricting qualifying requirements and prohibiting smokable cannabis. The attempt was subsequently overturned by a judge and was repealed by the legislature.
Last up, according to a recently released study, women who use cannabis while pregnant may endanger their unborn children. As shown in a study of approximately 5 million women in California who gave birth from 2001 to 2012, newborns to frequent cannabis consumers through pregnancy are more prone to having health complications, including premature birth and death within a year of birth, than newborns to women who did not consume cannabis through pregnancy. The study published in the journal Addiction adds further evidence on the dangers of cannabis consumption through pregnancy. As additional U.S. states legalize recreational cannabis and federal cannabis legalization looming, scientists are working to identify if cannabis has any detrimental effects on fetuses. In August, a study found a correlation between cannabis consumption with pregnant women and a higher likelihood of autism in their children. Because many states in the U.S. now have approved medical and/or recreational cannabis, we recommend regulatory approaches targeting pregnant women, such as developing guidelines for physicians to appropriately recommend medical cannabis and communicating potential risks of prenatal cannabis use, said Yuyan Shi, the study's lead author and associate professor of health policy and health economics at the Herbert Wertheim School of Public Health and Human Longevity Science at the University of California, San Diego.
And that was today's Buzz. Thanks for listening. For more cannabis news and insights from industry professionals and a place to discuss these stories and others, visit TRICHOMES.com.
And be sure to catch up with all of our other cannabis industry-related podcasts like Hash It Out, Careers in Cannabis, or the International Cannabis Conversation wherever you get your podcasts. For TRICHOMES.com, I'm Devin Leal.
And I'm David Fortin. Catch you next time.